Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Hi, guys, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be one of those guys. But today we're going to be talking about how to spec in the arena. I know I made a PvP guide like a week back or something. And I was thinking about, there's probably a lot of new DKs. I think that's going to be the best spec for every arena you do. But there's actually quite a few good specs, depending on the comp you're going to be versing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope you enjoy it. Alright guys, let's start off by getting into the double wizard comps, okay? So this can be God comp, Shadow Priest, Frost Mage, Shadow Play, Affliction Warlock, Shadow Priest. Anything with two wizards, this is the comp I like to go with. We're going to go with Ebon Fever. By Virulent Plague, deals 20% more damage over half the time and half the duration. So it's just more damage more quickly, and you don't have to be near the target you're trying to kill. So that's just more damage without being next to the target. Clawing Shadow is basically just an improvement to Scourge Strike, 30-yard range, and it does way more damage than Scourge Strike actually does. So 140k plus, if you crit in arena, it can crit like 200k or 300k, I think. So that's really good. Plus the range on it is just amazing. Corpse Shield is good, but I just prefer Spell Eater during the double wizard comps because of the 20% larger and 5% longer. So 1.6 mil absorption, that's a lot of damage that can be absorbed. It's not like really huge. See, like, let's compare it to Pet. They have 1 million HP, okay? And you're absorbing 90% damage, and when that damage is absorbed when your pet dies, then it's off of you, okay? But your pet only has 1 million HP. But with Spell Eater, I am absorbing 1.6 mil. So this is, in the end, absorbing a little bit more damage versus casters. So I like to go with that. Infected Claws. This comes into play with Clawing Shadows because you can't always be on the target putting wounds on the target with like Scorch Strike and auto attacks from Bloody Rune Weapon. But your pet will be close to the target most of the time because they're not too worried about CCing him. And if he's putting festering wounds on the target, then you can just sit back and spam your Clawing Shadows, so that just helps a lot. And I guess let's go over the honor talents. That's basically it for regular talents. For here, I just go with reinforced armor and an anti-magism, 60% damage, and that's for all of your that's for your whole team. You lay this down, everybody gets in it. They take 60% reduced magical damage. That is really, really, really helpful for resets. Let's say Shadow Play. Shadow Play is really, really nasty right now. They can have your whole team at 10% at the same time. Like, they can kill you at the same time. It's nuts. This is really good for resetting. Throw this up behind the pillar. Your whole team run back there. Try to be close to the pillar you're doing it to. Don't like throw it far away. Go back there, get a reset. Everybody's getting healed to full. If your healer can't out heal 60% reduced magical damage, get into healer. Okay? So that's why I picked that. Decomposing Aura is just when you're close, whatever. But however, if you do have a caster on your team, make sure you go Necrotic Aura so it gives them 8% more damage. Crypt Fever as always, and Holy Mutation. Now I said this comes into play with this. See, this ends, says when your Virulent Plague is dispelled or ends in duration, a slime spawns dealing shit damage and slowing them by 50%. Well, if this ends in half the time of its old duration, then that's more slows that's going to be coming out, alright? Or like when it gets dispelled, it's also going to be doing slimes. So that's just really good. That's what I like to roll for double wizards. Let's get into double melee. Alright guys, let's get into the double melee spec. So what I found to work really good for double melee spec is this one right here. Bursting Swords. Festering Wound deals 50% more damage when burst, and all enemies with 8 yards of the burst Festering Wound suffer 50k damage. So that comes into play with Castigator. I'm not going to talk about this roll because I always keep that the same regardless. Each Festering Strike critical strike applies 2 additional Festering Wounds. Each Scourge Strike critical strike burst 1 additional festering wound. So that's going to be with my artifact weapon right now. I have the new traits, so my wounds are increased. The wounds when they pop are increased by 12% right now, plus the 50% from this talent. My wounds can hit up to 200k of crit, but base damage is 100k. And this, the off damage to everybody 8 yards suffer the 55k damage. So when you get a critical strike with Scorch Strike and pop 2 of those, you're doing about a little over 200k to your main target just with the wounds, plus the damage from your Scorch Strike you're actually doing. And then since you're popping 2, it's actually going to do, that's going to stack with the festering wound shadow damage, like with an 8 yards that they suffer. That's also going to do about 100k to the off target. So when you've got an enhancement shaman, let's say turbo enhancement shaman and a warrior are standing on each other, that's going to do quite a bit of AoE damage to, let's say, the warrior, because you're going shaman and your shaman that you're hitting. So that's why I just like those really good with the double melee, any melee really. 68 as always, and in this one we're going with Corpse Shield because this is obviously useless because they don't have magic damage, or at least too much, depending on who you're versing. So Corpse Shield, obviously, that's just what you gotta go with. And these are gonna be kept the same. Going to the honor talents. Reinforced armor is okay, I guess, but I really like to go sparring in them situations because a 20% chance to... Your physical melee attacks have a 20% chance to be blunt to deal a 50% reduced damage. So that's gonna come in really good handy. You might get lucky with like... I don't know what Shaman's biggest hit is, but it has a chance to be blunted and only deal 50% of the normal damage, which is really, really good. And Dark Sim for this one, reason being, double melee are going to be trying to kill probably one of your DPS or your healer. And if you can steal CC from their healer and throw it up on the DPS to keep them off, you know, peeling. Say you take a Cyclone, okay? Throw it up on the shaman, and then you would Chains of Ice the warrior, and now you have them both trolled. They can't get to your healer, and your healer is going to love you. Decomposing Aura, they're always going to be standing on top of you, like I said, so they're just going to lose 3% health every 2 seconds, stacking up 5 times. And unholy mutation, just keep them slow and off your healer. And that's basically it for double melee. Now let's get into melee and caster specs. Alright guys, so for the melee and caster specs, it's kind of like a mix between the both specs I just showed you guys. We're going with Ebon Fever and Clawing Shadows, just like the spec for casters, but this time I'm going Corpse Shield because you already have the magic shell, so that's going to be blocking damage from the caster. But it won't be doing nothing from the melee, so Corpse Shield is going to be blocking the damage from the melee. So you need to go Corpse Shield for this one. You already know what that does. That's the only reason here, and everything else is the same. Let's go into the honor talents. This one will be quick and easy, actually, guys. I'm actually going to go reinforced armor. This is what I normally do for that. Let's say reversing a warrior and mage comp. That's a pretty decent comp. The warrior is going to be hitting like a truck, but that's okay because you have Icebound Fortitude to help you with that. And mage, if free casting, which you don't really want them to be free casting, will probably do more damage than the warrior probably would, or whatever. So the anti-magic zone is going to be better for that situation, so you can block out the mage damage or whatever. Maybe he's like too slippery, you can't catch him or something, you know, he's off just casting whatever. And the warrior can be actually just CC with Chains of Ice, pretty easy. They don't have too much to get out of Chains of Ice, they just stay slowed. They have charge and everything, but only so much. They have it like what, every 30-45 seconds, I don't even know. So it's just better to go with anti-magic zone for that position. And then depending if you have a caster on your team, go Necrotic Aura. If not, just go Decomposing Aura. And everything else is the same to keep them slowed down. So if you're trying to get the mage, keep them slow, and also keep the warriors slow, because you're gonna want dots on everybody. You're gonna want everybody slowed so they can't do nothing. But that's basically it. But before the end of the video, I kind of want to go on a rant here with Necrotic Strike. There's people still arguing that Necrotic Strike is good. Guys, it's not. You gotta give up on the Necrotic Strike dream. I know, and like Miss Pandaria and stuff, it was really good ability, but it's shit now. The health pools that we have and the amount of damage it's absorbed is just shit. Okay. Somebody in my comments on one of my videos even said that, oh, it's good if you blah blah blah. So I even went and tested this. I spammed the shit out of it, and it doesn't stack, okay? So like every time I pressed it, like you didn't even see it on the health bar of the guy you're attacking, because it just instantly gets healed. 100k guys is not it's not shit. It's not a good talent, guys. I hope it gets buffed, because I mean I wish it was the talent it used to be, but right now it's just taking wounds, it's taking our runes, I mean it's taken from your damage, it's taken from your rotation. It's just not good, okay? So for now, just go on Holy Mutation, guys. If it did stack though, I mean, it might be able to be worked with, but it doesn't stack anymore. It just, I mean, you guys can obviously do what you want, but I'm here to tell you, Necrotic Strike, in my opinion, is garbage. Just go on Holy Mutation. But sorry for sounding a little derpy tonight, I guess, like mumbling maybe, but I'm tired. I'm tired as always. I come home, play some WoW, and then I'm like, hey, let's make a video. I should probably try to make videos sooner so I ain't like derpy like I am now. But if this guide helped you guys, I'm happy for you. Damn it, I did it again. Ugh.